Hello everybody, this is Jeff. I'm a regular here at AwesomeCGG, and they have given me the opportunity to open up a collector booster box of Unfinity, the latest silly set from Wizards of the Coast. We're going to do a little bit about money, a little bit about silliness, a little bit about history, and take you through this box and possibly one other pack. So we're going to start off by just opening this up. And we'll just kind of take the cards as they come. So if you were to come here and purchase one of these, you're going to get a box topper. We're going to save that for last because we know that there's something good in it. And 12 boosters with a variety of kinds of cards in them. Now, before I open this, this is the fourth, we'll call it joke set, the fourth unset that Wizards of the Coast has put out. First there was Unglued, then there was Unhinged, then there was Unstable, and now there's Unfinity. There's also a box set along the way, but as far as being able to open up packs, those are the sets that have been silly over the years from Wizards of the Coast. And you'll see exactly what that entails in just a moment. So, in a collector booster, you're going to have a foil double-sided token, and you can already see some of the goofiness here because that's a pink teddy bear. And I don't just mean that this is pink, I mean the color indicator is pink, which is not a real color in Magic the Gathering, but it is in an unset. Set that to the side. So Unfinity is set on this kind of intergalactic traveling carnival, fun ride, circus sort of place. So you get things like a carnival carnivore, get things like Embiggen, flea circus, no, flea circus. An artifact creature robot called One Clown Band. Let me bring this a little bit closer so that you can see some of this. Oh, we're not getting in focus, but that's okay. I'll just keep them down here. Let me see here. All of these have been eternal legal so far. I'll make a point about that in a moment. Here's six-sided die, with the pun being on these are all ways to kill something. Spinneret Arachnobat, a legendary creature, spider performer. Performer is not the thing that you would normally see in a Magic set, but we get them here. Roxy, Publicist to the Stars. Here's our first attraction. So there, if you draft the set, there are certain cards that will ask you to open an attraction. You don't start with this on the battlefield, and there's no way to just take it out of a deck and put it there. You have to have another card tell you to open an attraction. When you have done so, at the beginning of your first main phase, you're going to roll a six-sided die. And if the die matches any of the lit up numbers on the side of your attraction here, you're going to do what it tells you to do. It's similar to Contraptions from Unstable, which is the set from a few years ago, where you have a separate deck that lets you do bonus things, and they're usually meant to be some sort of goofy thing, and yet actually have a tangible benefit in a draft. Form of the Approach of the Second Sun. Approach of the Second Sun is a card from the Amonkhet block, and this might be the single weirdest card in the whole set. When this enters the battlefield, you're going to gain life, and you become a card. You take the top 6 cards of your library and stack them on your head. You keep drawing as normal, and if you reach the point where you would draw yourself from your library, you win. That's the kind of goofiness that happens in an unset. Here is our first example of galaxy foiling. So here's a regular foil. You see how it shines. If you are a regular at Awesome and you've been playing Pokemon for any period of time, you've seen foiling like this in other card games. This is the first time it comes to Magic. You'll also see this thing here. Whenever another creature you own enters the battlefield, you get and there's an icon here that indicates sticker. I'm going to pause opening this for a moment. in a draft booster, we're not going to look at everything in here, but we want to see this. There's a sticker sheet. These are actual literal stickers that you can pull off and apply to cards. So we may come across another one at some point that has, say, blank spaces in the name, and you can change the name of the card with those. You can add art stickers, and there will be cards that do things depending on the number of art stickers that they have applied to them. You can change the power and toughness of things if you pay a ticket cost. And you can even give extra abilities like haste, or being able to cast this card from your graveyard by paying 2 life in addition to paying its other costs if you apply this sticker to it. So we'll set this off to the side. So here's Park Bleeder. Here's another Galaxy foil. This is Nocturno of Mira's Marvels. Because this is a sci-fi set, but it's a goofy sci-fi set, the showcase style, that is to say the special art style, is this throwback, vaguely Hanna-Barbera slash, let's say, early 2000s animation style that you would see in cartoons. So Tuscan Whiskers gets a treatment like that for its special version. I had mentioned previous unsets, unglued, unhinged, unstable. This is the set symbol for unstable. In every collector booster, you're going to get a foil throwback card. It's from a list of cards that were in previous unsets, and you can pick those up. We have yet another Galaxy foil, Katarina of Mira's Marvels. And now we're going to get to the thing that unsets are particularly known for. Besides the silly things like, say, Denim Walk, where if your opponent is wearing denim, your creature can't be blocked. What they're really sought after for are the lands. So, well, that's actually awesome that that's our first one. I'm going to grab out of this pile instead real quick. Okay, so we have these beautiful full art lands, some which are set on planets, some which are set in space. And they've been referring to them as SpaceX because they're basic lands, but they're space. You also have a chance in any slot in a booster that would contain a SpaceX land to get a shock land. In the collector boosters, they'll be in foil. So here's a foil shock land called Breeding Pool, which are generally rather useful in any format in which they're legal. One of the land cards in a collector booster will be traditional foil, and one of them will be Galaxy foil, which is really a rather pretty treatment. We're going to move a little more quickly through these. I think that I've explained most of the kinds of things that you can find in here. I've got somebody checking these out as we're over here, and you can hear the excitement.
Galaxy foil?
That's the Galaxy foil.
This is the old Pokemon foil.
Precisely. Like, if you're used to Pokemon, you know what this is. It's just the first time that they're doing it for Magic, and it's well done. And then that's the one of the shock lands, which I was not expecting to have be in the first.
And you got this out of a pack, not the...
I got that out of a collector booster.
Okay, so it's not the topper.
In collector boosters, it's either 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 24. I'm sorry that I forget which
this is good.
Will be a shock land instead of a basic land.
Nice.
So we beat the odds on that booster.
Honestly, I would foil out a land deck on basic lands. Holy crap, that's so cool.
And there's going to be a bunch more of those.
Gotcha. I want to see some of the fun cards.
Yeah, go for it.
You keep going.
You're all right. And you don't even have to edit this out later, because we're genuinely like, hey, this is cool.
You act like we edit things.
I would shout out a couple of my favorite podcasts who definitely edit their things. But so here's another card where you get a ticket counter in order to put stickers on things. It's an alien guest. Art appreciation. Put an art sticker on a non-land permanent you own. then ask a person outside the game to rate its new art on a scale from 1 to 5, where 5 is the best. And then something happens when they rate that art. So when we...
3 different foil patterns? 3?
There should only be 2 different foil patterns.
Well, this one's a little bit different.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that one's from the list. Can we grab that one real quick so that people at home see what we're talking about? This is technically just traditional foiling, but it appears different because it's got this silver border. Unsets used to have silver borders. They made things a little weird this time. That's a normal hollow foil that appears at the bottom of a rare card in Magic, which means this
etched?
is eternal legal.
Is that etched?
None of them should be etched.
Oh, okay.
If there are, we are absolutely putting it on eBay because it's not supposed to happen.
Because that doesn't look like that foiling pattern. And that's not Galaxy either.
Nope, neither of those is Galaxy. I agree that they look a little different. I think what you're seeing is that basically the entire surface of the art here is foiled, whereas here it's a spot treatment, and it's just certain highlighted things that have been foiled. Okay. So it's the same kind of foiling, but I agree with you that they applied it differently to the 2 different cards. Decisions. That's the name of my cube. Go find it. Not really. More jokes. Attempted murder. You roll dice for this card, and you either give things -1/-1 counters, which possibly kills them, so that's 1 murder. Or you create tokens that are called Storm Crows, which is Crows murder. Okay, there we go.
Murder Crows.
Yep.
I get it.
We have completely ridiculous things like Urza's Funhouse, which is a callback to a planeswalker that was in Unstable, which was Urza Academy headmaster, and it was literally just his head, because like 30 years ago he was beheaded in the storyline. And that card asked you to go to a website, click a button, and you would get a random planeswalker effect. This is the exact same thing, but it's on a land, and you have to pay mana in order to activate it.
Wow.
More Galaxy foil. Okay. I'm calling this card out. The word is pronounced tchotchke. If you stick with this video for no other reason, I am the only person on YouTube pronouncing this word correctly. Tchotchke. You've heard it before. I know you have. That's how it's spelled.
I would have done it wrong.
Circadian, as in night and day. Haha, we get it. Okay. Let's get to some lands here. We have a cute little squirrel token with almost a ruby rod treasure on the back. And we have a couple of mountains, one with the Galaxy foil treatment and one with the traditional foil treatment. Motion sickness, hat trick. There are a bunch of cards that reference hats, where if there's a hat in the art or a creature is wearing a hat, or in some weird cases, if you're wearing a hat while you're playing the game, it will have a different effect. Deadbeat attendant, bag check, trapeze artist. I know somebody who wants that. Ambassador blorpity blorp boop. I almost said that wrong and would have gotten the channel in trouble. Cover the spot. Here's another attraction. Don't try this at home. A good day to pie. I think we saw that in a different art a little bit ago. Tuscan Whiskers, this time with the Galaxy foiling. Alexander Clamilton. Yep. Here's a card that cares about the rarity of the cards in your library. So if you're playing Commander and you have a group that will allow you to use Acorn Symbol or Uncards in your deck, this would be a fantastic commander for a deck that is nothing but commons. Here's one of the Spacek lands. That's an island from space. And here's a beautiful Galaxy Foil Plains set on a planet. And that is going to haunt my nightmares, this clown robot. The balloon isn't so bad, though. We all float here. We're going to go a little more quickly now. Questionable Cuisine, Seasoned Buttoneer, Impounding Lotbot, Dissatisfied Customer, more Tuscan Whiskers, blank rocket ship. So here's one of those cards where you could make it a guacamole rocket ship. I don't know if you want to do that, but you could. A fortune teller, spelling bee, ballerina, goblin cruciverbalist, another spinneret, bingo, space Bellerin. This is Jace Bellerin set in space. So here's one of our planeswalkers. There are, I believe, 2 of them in the set. So that's kind of a fun pull in this throwback art style. Ooh, that swamp is pretty. Oh, and we got a Galaxy Foil Overgrown Tomb. So when Jamie comes back, he's going to want to see this one. I will set that aside for him. All right. Nearby Planet. This is the last one I'm going to read for a while unless something crazy special happens. Rangeling. This card is every land type, including plains, island, swamp, mountain, forest, desert, gate, lair, locust, and all those Urza ones. Enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you pay 1. So it's literally every type of land, or at least subtype. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous and also kind of cool. Chicken Troop, Slight Malfunction, Haber Thrasher, there's some Hat Matters stuff, Sword Swallowing Seraph, Storybook Ride. Oh, hey, here's the other Planeswalker actually, Comet, Stellar Pup. So yes, there is a good boy in space at the the name of the theme park that they're at. I can't pronounce it. I've managed to pronounce everything okay, but I can't do that one. Slight Malfunction, Starlight Spectacular, Monoxa, Midway Manager, By No Means, a meet and greet Sisse, old character, but there's a sub-theme of park people dressing up as famous Magic characters, and we've got another couple of these going on. Gonna set this one aside for Jamie too. All right. So as I'm going through some of these, I had noted earlier, and I think that Jamie and I started talking, some of these have an acorn symbol on them. That means that they're not legal in Eternal formats like Commander, unless your group specifically allows you to use it, or Legacy. But ones like this are. It doesn't have the acorn, which means you could play this in Legacy, and you shouldn't have any problems. Unless there's like particular Rule 0 conversation you have about using it in Commander. Enter the dungeon. And here we have a couple more swamps. We will set those aside for Jamie as well. The return of food and the teddy bear. All right. We've definitely had some neat pulls so far, some things worth some money, some things that are just fun, some things that I plan to send to some friends who are cubing or playing Legacy or whatnot. The Most Dangerous Gamer, that appeals to my English major heart. Oh, I'll highlight this real quick. There's our Stormcrow token, and on the other side is a clown robot, seemingly made out of pie. Not actually sure about that. Okay. Ticking Mime Bomb, Goblin Girder Gang, Pick a Beeble. Beeble are creatures that only show up in unsets. We have a clown car. I really like this card a lot. It's a very neat artifact that potentially creates more artifacts and potentially as it gets bigger, and maybe even does both. It came from Planet Glurg. DK, Finder of the Lost. She's a zombie, so DK. You get it. Dr. Julius Jumblemorph. Another one of these. We get some more of those. All right. Plot armor, non-human cannonball. Claire de Lune. I'm not sure if that's my favorite joke. There's so many good jokes in this. Oh, and there's Ambassador Blorpity Blorp with the showcase treatment, and there's an It Came from Planet Glurg with the showcase treatment. An island and a mountain. Zombie employee. So as we close in on these final 3 packs, I hope that you have seen some stuff that makes you laugh. I hope you have seen some stuff that makes you want to draft this, particularly if you're in the area. Magar of the Magic Strings, particularly if you're in the area and you can come down here to Awesome to draft tonight. I'm not sure how many times they intend to draft Unfinity, but the last unset, Unstable, was actually a blast to draft in person. And I suspect that if you're willing to let yourself get a little bit silly and not get too bogged down in rules questions. For example, I just read that apparently space helmets do not count as hats for the purposes of the rules. But if you've got a chill environment to do this in, I think you would have a lot of fun picking up any of these and drafting. If you want to just pick them up for the lands, in every draft booster, oh, I already pulled it out. Well, I've lost track of where I put it, but in every draft booster, you're also going to get a non-foil one of these lands, and that's a great way to bling out whatever decks you're doing. I almost forgot, we have this box topper. So if you buy a full box, either draft or collector boosters, you're going to get a box topper, and we'll show you what's inside. It's going to be a shock land. Bear with me just a moment, I need to do this carefully. It's going to be a foil shock land. It will not be galaxy foil. But, for example, in this one, we have just picked up a Godless Shrine, little eclipse effect with a spaceship going across. And we really did rather well with this box, though. We've got a Galaxy Foil Overgrown Tomb, and between the box topper and the packs, we picked up 2 other foil Shocklands, as well as all of these. And definitely some neat cards to go through in here. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you all later. Hey, Jamie, I signed off, but I don't know how to... Like, I gave a verbal sign off.
Yeah, you're good. I can.
Okay. Yeah, I know that you guys joke that you don't edit, but there's the... Oh, sorry, I'll let you...